Welcome to yet another edition of the Stats and Stacks podcast, where today there is no UFC this week, unfortunately. Good news is it's football season, baby. So we do have a lot of takes when it comes to NFL futures, when it comes to just like betting games in general. And honestly, one of the things I'm best at fantasy football, baby. It's fantasy football season. A lot of people have already started their drafts. Some people have a lot coming up. I believe the most popular weekend is actually this weekend coming up for fantasy football is the most popular. So everyone's got to get everything ready. Everyone is doing mock drafts like crazy. So what we're going to do is just fly through a mock draft and kind of see how we would set up our team, see different ways to set it up, whether we're going zero RB, whether we're taking a whole bunch of running backs, whether you're taking a tight end early. There's so many ways to approach this that I'm just curious to see how the teams turn out, especially with like things like hard knocks and stuff coming up, a lot of injuries, just projections and everything. People are starting to creep up draft boards, starting to slide down draft boards, and just drafts aren't looking the way they were even just a week ago. So I'm interested to see how it looks. I personally use the Sleeper app when it comes to using any sort of like mock drafts. It just has a tendency to go a little quicker, makes it a little easier. So yeah, without further ado, we have it just randomized draft spot. I don't even know where I'm drafting from. So we're just going to go ahead and see how the cookie crumbles. Where do they have me at? We are pick 10. All right. So we have a lot of options here looking at it. Um, let's see. So number one off the board, we had Christian McCaffrey. CMC is no surprise. Kamara ahead of Dalvin Cook is interesting. I guess I could see it. Saquon Barkley at 4 is also interesting, considering they said he might be available week 3. He might be available week 1. It's really a bit of a mystery. Nick Chubb above Derrick Henry and Zeke is a little interesting to me, but I could see it, I guess. I mean, I do currently, I'm in the Cleveland area, so I could totally see it. Derrick Henry at 6, yes. Zeke, I actually am a little higher on Zeke than others. I probably have him as my number 3 after Dalvin, in all honesty. There's just a lot of questions with Kamara and that offense. Michael Thomas out. God, not just Michael Thomas is out. Marquez Callaway is hurt. Deontay has a DUI or some legal issues he's dealing with. Traquan Smith is hurt. That off, you don't know who the quarterback is. There's just too many questions for me to draft Kamara. Saquon, the injuries, and then Chubb and Henry don't catch passes. So that kind of leaves me with Zeke, where I put him at 3. Jonathan Taylor went after Zeke at 8. Talk about some questions at offense. The Colts are a little questionable right now as well with the whole Wentz situation. You don't know who your QB is. Your center is out. I don't know if I really want to trust that too much. I like Pittman. I think that Ty is aging a little. Paris Campbell, I don't consider because he's going to get hurt after 2 weeks anyway. So that office is kind of in shambles to me as well. Let's see, Tyreek. I prefer Adams over Tyreek. And I would go Adams here, but I want to switch things up. And I'm going to take Travis Kelce here just because he is an X factor. He's not normally available this late. And a lot of people are taking him. I mean, I've seen him as early as 3. So I'm just interested to see how the team goes when you take a tight end initially. That's what mock drafts are for, to live and learn, kind of figure it out as you go. So then you had Eckler and Diggs go off the board. And then back-to-back Packers to end the first round. You had Adams and Jones. And Jones is banged up right now too. So, okay, so we start our draft with Travis Kelce, just an ace at tight end. I usually wait on tight end, but I mean it's Kelce, Waller, Kittle, and then outside of that, it's just a crapshoot. So it's a nice having that safety blanket. However, if you're going tight end early, running back is the most valuable spot. So we do need one here. I'm looking at potentially going zero RB because I love Calvin Ridley more than most people this year. Antonio Gibson, I like. However, that offense, I don't really know how it's going to function either. Ryan Fitzpatrick's a good pickup, but To me, the way he plays doesn't really correlate with Curtis Samuel and Terry McLaurin. Joe Mixon is a pick that I do like Joe Mixon this year. But honestly, I'm looking here. I went Travis Kelce, so I want as much volume as I can get. And I'm going to take a shot on the rookie Najee Harris here. I'm not the biggest Steelers fan, but I do know that they believe in opportunity and they believe in one bell cow back. So I'm going to see how that works out for us. We got Mixon went right after, and Ridley, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Gibson, Brown, Hopkins. There's a second tight end with George Kittle. A lot of good wide receivers went a little bit of a run there. You had JK and then Kittle, and then you had Allen McLaurin. You have Allen Robinson, little David Montgomery sprinkled in there. Interesting to see Swift still go in the third round. I know he's a little banged up right now too. So we're back on the clock here. Right now we have Travis Kelce. We have Najee Harris. I'm looking at what we have here. Not a ton I like here. I would generally go after another running back, but I'm not Chris Carson I like. I will consider. I'm not that big on Miles Sanders. I think I have zero stock on Miles Sanders because the Eagles are a little questionable for me. If he was my third running back, if I had him in the flex, I would like that. I don't know if I trust him as a two. You look at the receivers. You have some decent receivers here. In Julio, CD. I'm a little more off CD than others are. Chris Godwin. I like Cooper is always hurt, but I like Robert Woods is just dependable. Gosh, see, this is where it hurts taking a Kelce because I really want a running back here, but I only feel okay with these two. So I actually think I'm going to go wide receiver. I love Julio. I've drafted Julio every single year I've done fantasy football. I don't know if I want to trust him as a one this year. Gosh, I'm not a big fan of these options. Not even looking at quarterback yet. It's way too early. Well, there is a new offensive coordinator in Seattle, and they said they want to run more. So you know what? I will go ahead and take that running back. I'll take Chris Carson. At least it's a two. I'm glad I went Najee instead of taking a receiver there, the first pick. There's just too much value at receiver later on. It's not like, I'm picking a few picks later here. So Josh Allen went. Darren Waller went. So good. I wasn't looking at tight end. I already have one. I wasn't looking at quarterback yet. It's way too early. Julio went. Okay. Darrell Henderson. I'm not big on Darrell Henderson. He has an injury prone tag in my opinion. So I'm not too thrilled to see him. Gosh. So I'm still looking at the same names here. I don't want to scroll down too much because we're looking for a one here. I do consider I'm basically looking at Robert Woods, Chris Godwin, and CeeDee Lamb. Robert Woods is the epitome of just consistency. Chris Godwin is pretty decent low games, but can explode. And CeeDee Lamb is all explosion. So it's really a matter if you want to draft safe, if you want something in the middle, or if you want upside. And even though I just said I'm not as big on CD as others, I think I'm going to take him here just because I want upside and wide receivers. So there's so much depth there that I can find someone safe later on. So we're going to go CD. See, then we have more quarterbacks. Lamar coming off the board. Good old safe Woods and Cooper coming off. Gaskin. I really don't believe in Myles Gaskin. I don't really get the hype there. Travis Etienne, I also don't believe in. Kyle Murray is probably my number one QB, but I'll never have him because it's too early. Let's see, Godwin, good. Kareem Hunt, I see in Thielen. Pitts, rookie tight ends do have a tendency to struggle. I know there's not a lot of options in Atlanta, but it's a little early in my opinion. What is this, the fifth round? Hawkinson, I see. Deontay Johnson's a good pick. Kenny Golladay, a good pick. Justin Herbert is a terrible pick here. So that brings us back to, so we have two running backs, we have our stud tight end, then we have an upside receiver. So generally, this is where I would draft someone safe. I'm looking here, and I'm just seeing upside. Tyler Lockett's boomer bust. Jamar Chase is a rookie. A lot of mouths to feed in that offense, kind of boomer bust. Odell, same ordeal. Miles Defeaty's boomer bust. Same thing with Chase Claypool. So I'm actually going to get a little crazy here and draft my third running back just in case. I'm actually going to take Mike Davis here, someone I have a ton of stock in, just because there's not a lot of options in Atlanta. And when you look at that running back room, Mike Davis is okay, but the rest is just trash behind them. So it's his job to lose. So I'm just hoping for touchdowns at this point. The offense is good enough to get him there. It's not a potent offense, but it's good enough. So I'll take a little Mike Davis stock here. Let's see. And then we're looking at Michael Thomas went. Wow, Michael Thomas in the 5th round. That's crazy. Lockett went, who I was hoping got back to me. But actually, I do have Chris Carson. See, that's the thing. Like, generally, I try not to draft a whole bunch of players on the same team. I really didn't even notice that I had Chris Carson, and I would have paired him with Lockett. Dak Prescott, I'm not as high on as others. So Chase would have been nice to get back to me, but we're still looking at probably a wide receiver here. I feel pretty obligated. I don't mind T. Higgins, but he's not my go-to. There's going to be too much inconsistency there. And if I have someone like CeeDee Lamb, that's just all upside. I'd probably, I'm looking here. Gosh, this juncture, I do feel like I need a wide receiver. I'm looking at Odell, but that's just CeeDee and Odell are the epitome of boomer bust, in my opinion. Brandon Ayuk is kind of the same ordeal, and they do run a lot in San Fran, but he's kind of growing on me, in all honesty. So I believe the Browns are going to do what they're supposed to do and run the ball more than pass this year. Even though Baker's on a contract year, it probably wants to show out. I think he wants to win more. So I'm going to take Brandon Ayuk. Trust that Jimmy Garoppolo is there. I like him a lot more with Jimmy G there than I do with Trey Lance. So I'm hoping that, in my opinion, Jimmy G wins the job, stays the quarterback, even if Trey Lance impresses. They want to treat him like Mahomes. They want to treat him like Rodgers, have him sit behind a decent QB and then explode. So if it's Jimmy G, I will take Brandon Ayuk here. I'll take that gamble. Not feeling the greatest about my receiving core. A lot of boomer bust. I'm looking for a little more consistency, so hoping to get that in the later rounds here. Let's see. So you have who went after. T. Higgins went right after. Javonte Williams. DJ Shark, I think, is going to be one of the biggest busts this year. OBJ, Ronald Jones, Mostert, Damian Harris. Robbie Anderson is who I was hoping got back to me, who is gone. David Johnson, Rodgers, Wilson. So there's a little bit of a run on QBs here between Prescott, Rodgers, Wilson. I'm not phased in the least bit looking at it here. I mean, even Tom Brady's like my number 3 quarterback. I like him a lot, but I'm not ready to take him here. So I do want a little more wide receiver help. Gosh, now you're looking at the nitty gritty here with like Devontae Smith. There's not a lot of mouths to feed in Eagles land, so you could potentially take him there and hope for a breakout, but that injury really concerns me. Tyler Boyd's consistent, but there's so many mouths now. Will Fuller should be nasty on the Dolphins, all honesty, but I don't know if I can trust Tua. Brandon Cooks, I like just out of sheer volume because there's no one there, and the Texans are so bad they have to pass. Waddle, Chenault, I'm getting too low here. So I am going to, I guess, continue my wide receiver upside ordeal. And we are Jerry Jeudy's in there. I'm actually going to take. Let's just gamble on the rookie. See what Devontae Smith can do. The Heisman winner. Let's go ahead. Why not? Let's just go all upside when it comes to the receiver, I guess. And on the comeback, I know just recently I did hear news of Aaron Jones having a little bit of a hamstring injury, and hamstring injuries in training camp are concerning. They continue to pop up over and over again throughout the duration of the season. If he's hurt at any point in the season, AJ Dillon is a monster. So I'm looking at AJ. I'm also have my number 4 quarterback, I want to say offhand, and Ryan Tannehill sitting here. So, I mean, I want those two. I'm gonna take a gamble and see which one comes back. I do see a lot of quarterbacks taken. I know a lot of teams will take a second quarterback, but I'm gonna hold off on it because quarterback again, you can find a million great quarterbacks. So I'm gonna take the upside and AJ Dillon because you can use him whether Aaron Jones is hurt or not. But if Aaron Jones does get hurt, he's an absolute monster. So I'm gonna go ahead and take AJ Dillon here. Let's see who we have going after. Good old Fournette. Cooks went. Brady went. Another quarterback off the board. Stafford Hurts, another quarterback off the board. But our quarterback we were targeting did end up coming back to us here with Ryan Tannehill. So we gambled and we gambled correctly. So we're not even going to think too much about this pick. We're going to go straight to Tannehill here. Then we have, what is it? Singletary, Higbee, Lawrence went Seth round. Okay, I got you. Mike Williams. All righty. So now we have a pretty consistent team here. To review, we have so we started with the stud tight end. We have running back room is Najee Harris and Chris Carson and Mike Davis. Receivers, we have CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Aiyuk, Devontae Smith. We had AJ Dillon as a running back as well. And then we have our quarterback as Ryan Tannehill. So the only glaring weakness I see is still my receiver room. It's a lot of boom busts there. Not drafting another tight end. You do not need more than one. I don't personally draft more than one quarterback either. So here I would look for some consistency in regards to the wide receiver room, but at this point in the draft, you're not going to see much of it. One of the guys I'm really, really big on that's slowly climbing up draft boards that I love getting late was Marvin Jones. You just got to look at the way everyone plays and the coaching staff. And when you look at Urban Meyer, he loves to go deep. And when you look at you have DJ Shark on the Jaguars, and then Shenault and all of them are more possession receivers. They're not necessarily someone that you're going to go get a long bomb. Marvin Jones is that guy. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of reach a little and get Marvin Jones here. More of a kind of a boom play at receiver, but one of them, you're going to have to look at a lot of matchups and try to figure it out as you go along the way. Let's see. We had Corey Davis, Devontae Parker, Pittman, Ruggs, Mooney, Moore, Jamal Williams is a good pickup right now. I know Swift is a little banged up. Gronk, Matt Ryan. Now we're back on the board. So right now, let's see what we need here. I feel like we're pretty locked up at running back. We're definitely okay at tight end and quarterback. So we are looking at still receiver. I don't think I'm going to get any consistency at this position at this point. So really what you have are running backs where you hope someone gets hurt and they take over, and you have receivers. I honestly, at this point in the draft, I have no idea who the number one is in New England. Some reports say it's N'Keal Harry. Some say it's Jacoby Myers. Others saying Nelson Aguilar looks very good. I do have 4 running backs. I considered taking like a Lat Murray just in case Kamara went down. But if Kamara goes down early and Michael Thomas is hurt and all your receivers are hurt and Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill are your quarterbacks, I don't know how much opportunity you're getting in the run game. So then I look over at it's probably between Murray and Aguilar just because of the mystery of who the wide receiver one is. Yeah, at this point, we are going to take, because I'm not a Mecole Hardman fan whatsoever. You know what? Screw it. We're going to take Lat Murray just in case. I know I just made all those cases against him. But again, the number one thing in fantasy football is volume when it comes to the running back decision or running back position. So if anything were to happen to Kamara, who is not the largest man in the world, we know that he's getting all the opportunity. So I will take him. And Aguilar actually fell back to us. So we're not having any discussion here. We're going to go right to Nelson. We had Hardman, Lindsey, Trey Lance came off the board. I can see it. That's a good spot for him to go around 12. Hunter Henry. I see it. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead, no hesitation, take Nelson Aguilar here. Our team's almost done. It's 15 rounds here, so we have 3 more picks. We still need a defense. And then this is extra flex, no kickers in this league. So we're gonna hold off on defense to the last pick. So we just really have 2 sleeper picks where we're looking here. At this rate, yeesh, not a lot of good. But there is one man that's sticking out to me who I actually like a little more than most people. And that man is wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. We're looking at St. Brown here. I mean, just solely on the fact that when you look at Cooper Kupp going off with Jared Goff, Cooper Kupp played a lot in the slot. And right now, if he's going to target slot receivers, this is the slot guy. Perriman's going to be on the outside, who's also banged up. Who else do they have? Gosh, that wide receiver room is so bad. Tyrell Williams plays on the outside, and he's also banged up. Yeah, at this juncture, if Goff likes to target if he likes to target the slot, both his outside wide receivers are hurt. He's going to be forced to target the slot. You're looking at TJ Hawkinson. You're looking at St. Brown, in all honesty. He's winning that slot position. So we are going to take him, and I think he's a really good value this late considering. So we're just going to have one more dart throw here and then pick a defense to round it up. Looking at all the names here, you see all these questionables, people that are hurt or either people that are like rookies and no one knows about. John Brown. So, there's actually one man that I absolutely have loved. Is a second-year player here. Again, the major thing I like to do is look at the quarterback, look at the offense. So when it comes to the quarterback, Derek Carr, his best years, he threw a lot to Amari Cooper, who was a little larger bodied. He threw a lot to Michael Crabtree, who was a little larger bodied. Go up and get it, young man, is what he loves to do. And at that point, that receiver, you look at the receiver room in Oakland, you have Henry Ruggs, who's kind of short and quick. Hunter Renfrow, short and quick. John Brown, short and quick. There's only one man that kind of sticks around the rest as a go-get-it young man, and that is Bryan Edwards, second-year wide receiver out of the University of South Carolina. He's the definition of banged up. This dude is never healthy, and it definitely stunted his growth. However, it's year 2. You hear all the buzz in training camp, just like you did last year. It's your last pick. I'm going to go ahead and take the shot and hope that he actually becomes something. So I love the film. The film just doesn't lie. I love the player. I just don't love the injuries, but it's your last pick. Why not take the shot? And when it comes to defenses here at the end, I generally don't care who I get. I just look at the week 1 matchup and see who's playing the Houston Texans, who's playing the Detroit Lions. And honestly, I don't remember offhand who's playing who. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick whatever the first defense is that pops up, in all honesty, or I'll just go over to defense and click it, make it easier. Here, let's see. I don't mind the Dolphins, in all honesty. They play the Bills, so can't do that. So we'll just take Kansas City. They do play the Browns week 1. I actually don't like that. I don't know who the Dolphins play, but I do like their defense. So I am going to take the Dolphins here. And that is going to round out our draft. So all in all, looking at it, we have, as a quarterback, we have Ryan Tannehill, who I love. Running backs, we have Najee Harris, Chris Carson, Mike Davis, A.J. Dillon, and Lat Murray. Wide receivers are where I think it's a little weak. I have CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, Devontae Smith, Marvin Jones, Nelson Aguilar, St. Brown, and Bryan Edwards. We have our stud, Travis Kelce, at tight end. And then the Dolphins defense, I really don't mind this team. I'd be fine rocking this team going into the season. So I guess taking Kelce early isn't a bad thing, in all honesty. You're going to have one place where you don't feel the most comfortable. For me, that's receiver. But I feel really good at running back. I feel good at tight end. I feel good at quarterback. Everything else seemed to work out. I like my bench. And I'm okay with my right receiver. So, yeah, not a bad strategy. Yeah, so that's that. We're gonna do another one where we're gonna do some zero RB. We're gonna do another one here where we just kind of draft normally. I'll actually probably doing. I have a few drafts. So my first draft I have is I'm drafting from the 7 position, so I might do a little sample there. Otherwise, the UFC is back next week. We are going to continue to kind of go back and forth with UFC and football as the football season kicks off. Those are the two things that we're best at betting. So otherwise, we're gonna have a productive week next week, and this week, and just get those mock drafts in, baby. It's football season. Watch some preseason football. It doesn't mean much, but watch that first quarter just to see how the offense looks, who they like to use. This stuff is important. It's not that exciting, but it's important. So at least the first quarter. So enjoy yourself some preseason football. Get those mock drafts in, and we'll see you soon.